Hello, this is Pam. Today I am going to show you how to make this cute paper purse, and it doesn't use any dies, and it has a Velcro opening, and this is how much room is on the inside. It's quite large, very deep, and since Valentine's Day is coming up, it makes a perfect little gift bag for friends, family, mothers, aunts, sisters, whoever. So all you need is a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock and a scoring tool. Now this is the paper that I'm going to use for today, and this is where it comes from out of this pack. I've had this one for a while. So, let me get my scoring tool. Any scoreboard that you have. And I'm just going to use the tool that comes with it. You can use a bone folder. You can use a stylus. I have many. I'm just going to use the one that come with it. Now, if your paper is directional, so because when you, let me open this one up and I'll show you. These do also store flat. When you create this, you're going to have the pattern repeat. So if it's directional, this side will be upside down. So try to choose a pattern that doesn't have a directional. This one is pretty good. So you're going to score one side at 3/4 of an inch. And 4.5. And I'm scoring it this way, pattern side up, because I want the little bumpy part of the score to be on the inside. All right, so 3/4, 4.5, 7.5, and I go over it twice just to make sure, and 11.25. All right, so now turn the paper. And on this side, we're going to score at 2 3/4. And 9 1/4. All right, so that is all of the scoring. And you can see the little bumpy parts. I want those on the inside. Now, you can use double-sided paper. That way my first one here is double-sided, but I like this pattern, so I decided to use it. I like that paper. It's very pretty. Okay. I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a tad. All right. Now, where your small score line is, this is your top of your bag. So I like to start reinforcing with those smaller pieces. So just fold on those and reinforce the crease. Again, I'm just using my bone folder for that. And we're just going to reinforce every score line. I just like to start with the thinner pieces. And just keep going along on all of your lines. Now this this paper purse doesn't require any cutting. So we don't have to cut any pieces away, no trimming down. And like I said, it does fold flat, so if you want to make some of these up ahead of time, you can store them flat until you're ready to go. All right, so the first thing is to glue down your little flaps. So I am using double-sided tape. You can use liquid glue, whatever you have. Preferably something that's going to be a little bit stronger, just so it will hold up well, because you want these pieces to stay down. All right, so got that on there, and we're going to remove the release paper and fold that down. You can use cardstock also. Cardstock is just a little stiffer, so I will show you in a minute what I mean by, I like to use pattern paper. All right, so turn your paper around and do the same to the other small border here. Put your tape down or glue, whatever you have, all the way down. Got that one a little crooked, that's fine. And pull away the release paper. I just used my piercing tool to pull that away. And fold that down. Now, since we folded this down, we kind of folded it over this score line, so I just like to reinforce that a little bit, because originally it was going the opposite direction, just up there at those pieces. All right, so here's our top, front and back. Now, what I like to do before I do anything else is just roll this a little bit. Not a lot, just roll it. Where these this way, because it kind of helps. Let me get this one, I'll show you. Because when these come together, it bows. So I'm just trying to help it curve so you don't get a crease. Because if you're a little rough with it, like I tend to be, you'll get a little crease in there. So that just helps it lay a little bit nicer. Okay, so the next step is to take, you got your small pieces, border, top and bottom. So each side is going to have to come here. So take this corner and you want to meet it to this edge. So this piece to here. And what I like to do is hold it flat and just push a little bit, because we're bringing this whole piece of paper down to this side. There's no crease mark there. You don't really need to put one in, but I hold that down just to keep this nice and crisp. And I take this score line even with this. So you can bring it down and just make sure that it's even with that and hold it. And then you can take your bone folder, your creasing tool, and reinforce that. so that's what that looks like. And we need to do that on all 4. So again, this needs to come down to here. So I hold that corner down, bring this score line down to here, and line it up and hold it in place. It's hard to see. And get your bone folder right in the corner back there and get that crease. So now we have that. And we're going to do the same on these 2. So again, bring this. I'm going to try to hold it up here a little bit for you. I put my finger in that corner right there just to keep that edge crisp. And you want to bring this to the edge like that. And I can't, obviously I can't crease that holding it up that close, but hopefully you'll be able to see that. And take your tool and just give it a crease. And one more. Again, bringing that to the edge. Take your tool into the corner, which there is, you can see that. All right, so that is pretty much all we need. So next thing is to glue these pieces down. Now we're only going to glue from where we just scored it up to the top. All of this remains open. So just this funny piece here. Now for the handles, I'm just using ribbon. You can use cardstock. If you use cardstock, make sure you give it a little bit of a curl. These are cut at 10 inches long. And I am going to run my double-sided tape just on this piece and on this piece. And I'm going to use liquid glue on the rest of that. If you don't have liquid glue, or if you have a glue pen, you can use that. You can use double-sided tape. It's whatever you have. Just remember to only put adhesive in this area. And again on this side. All right, now let us remove the paper backing. I'm just gonna go ahead and take both sides off because I'm gonna sandwich the ribbon in between before attaching it at all. So I'm gonna take my ribbon end and I'm just gonna eyeball it right in the center and just leave like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch of it hanging out there. Press that down, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Now make sure you don't twist your ribbon as you're going along. And same, eyeball it there. It's about 1/4 of an inch. Press that down a bit. All right, so now I'm going to take my liquid adhesive and I'm just going to put glue in the corner just a tiny bit. Don't get a whole lot. You don't want to get glue anywhere else around here, or you'll glue your piece. It won't open and shut right. So just keep it in between here. And I'm going to put a little tiny piece on the ribbon because this has no glue on it now. And while it's open and flat, I'm going to go ahead and do this side. And again, little piece on the ribbon. All right, so take this and fold it in. Take this and fold it in and press down. Sorry about that. My son come home from school, so I had to stop the video. So anyways, after we put the glue on it, we press these down. So we need to do the other side. So do the same thing. Put your double-sided adhesive on each side of these flaps, or liquid glue, whatever it is that you choose to use. I have some, too long, red line tape. That's really nice too. That's super strong. Used to use that often. Get everything stuck to it. All right. Attach those well. Remove the release paper on both sides. This does get a little awkward here because we already have this side attached. It doesn't want to lay flat, but it's fine. And again, take your ribbon, line it up, eyeballing in the center there as much as you can, and make sure your ribbon isn't twisted, and bring it around to this side. Same thing. Get that in there good. And again, just keeping the adhesive in this triangle. If you need to hold your piece up, you can. Come on, glue. I'm trying not to get a whole lot in there. I don't want it oozing out. And a little bit on the ribbon. And same with this side. And a little bit into that corner. All right. And just like the other side, bring your edges down. Press that all in. And your edges down, and press that all down. Now you can put something heavy on it to dry, but liquid glue usually isn't, it usually sets pretty fast. And then up here we have the double-sided adhesive. All right, so that pretty much is the bag. Now, once you have the pieces all glued together, I bring mine up, and then I kind of push in on the sides, because on the finished one, it goes in at a slope. So I just bring the edges up, push that in, and make sure that it domes on the inside of the end there. See? All right, so to finish the bag off, I use a punched label. If you don't have, this is the paper punch that I have here. You could use a die, whatever shape that you have. If you don't have any die or punch, you can definitely just use the rectangle, maybe round the corners off. So this piece here is kind of thin paper. I will show you the paper pad it comes from. It's the Paper Studio paper texture cardstock, but it's thin. It's a thin cardstock. So I'm going to punch 2 and glue them together because that's what makes our flap. And I don't want it real flimsy. I want it to have, because the person's going to be lifting this up, and I don't want it to tear. So I'm just going to glue 2 of them together just to make it a little stronger. If you use regular cardstock, you will only need 1 because that's plenty thick enough. It'll hold up just fine with one piece of cardstock. But for this, I am going to use 2 and line that up. All right, so to embellish that, this one I happen to have had a decorative little button or flat-backed button that matched this cardstock, Stampin' Up! Paper. This one I don't really, so I'm just going to use a button, a matte finish button. Yeah, that looks nice. All right, so I am going to get a straight ruler, and I'm just going to put a score line down that just to help it fold a little better. You could put it back on your scoring. You could put it back on your scoring tool if you'd like. That's fine. All right. So this becomes our little flap on our bag. And I always do the back. I said, since this paper pretty much is non-directional, I don't really think it matters which is the front or the back. But I'm going to use my liquid glue to attach that, and that on the back side first. I always like to do the back and then do the front. And I was looking for my little tweezers. Here's they are. I have these backwards tweezers, which are really nice for holding things together. If not, you can use a clothespin or something like that. So I want to put the score or the fold line there a little above the edge, so it has a little bit of room to fold over here. So I'm going to attach that and just give that a minute there to set and hold. So while that's sitting there, I had these Velcro dots that I got from Joann Fabrics. That is what is holding this piece closed. Just a little Velcro dot. I used to use magnets, but I found that the magnets were a little strong. They were tearing the paper. These little Velcro dots work great. I found them over in the Sewing Notions area, and they are sticky on the back, so they work perfectly. And these are like, I don't know what these are, 1/2 inch circles, something like that. Yeah, they work nice. All right, so when I attach these, this one has kind of a white, but all of this piece here is clear. So I like to put the clear on this side, so you don't see just this white piece. So I take the fuzzy part of the Velcro, and attach it to the label. So I center it up in the middle of the label there. Press that down real good. Make sure it's attached. Then I take the clear part, which is the rough side of the Velcro. Peel that off. And then I take the rough side and I attach it right on top of the fuzzy part on the Velcro. So the adhesive to this is up. And then you want to close your bag and make sure you get it centered on your ends as best you can. And gently push that in. Now you can slide your fingers on the inside. Give that a press. And I gently pull it away at first, just in case it's not quite attached. And then I push down on it real hard, make sure that it is attached well. And that closes it up. Alright, so now I want to put the button on. Put the button on last. You can fold this, you can fold them perfectly flat, so you can make these up ahead of time. And when you're ready to go, just fluff them up, fill them with gifts, sugar, treats, candies, chocolates, whatever. Let's see which button I want. I kind of like that one. So since this one has holes in it, I'm just using glue dots. And I'm going to try to get it above the holes there, so you don't see the adhesive. Just like that. Looks good. And line that up in the center or wherever you want it to be. Press that down well. And that should be all to our little paper purse gift bag. So cute. I love it in this paper. Looks vintage. And there we have our inset pieces. As a finished dimension, here's some of my other double-sided tape. This ends up being about 6.5 inches wide. I'm measuring my other one I made there. By 3 inches deep. And then height-wise, we got about 3.5 inches tall. But it has a lot of room in it. That's pretty big in there. Plenty big enough for any type of little gift that you want to give. You could even wrap it in some tissue paper and put in there. But I love these purses. They're so cute, and that Velcro works perfectly. Whoops. See what I mean by bending it in? Works perfectly for the closure on that. Now, obviously, the stiffer the paper that you have, the heavier items that you could put in there. But I think they're adorable, and what girl wouldn't love to get a little treat purse? So I hope you enjoy this video and give yourself a go at one of these little paper purses. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.